Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live edition of Mafia Roundtable, Sakali's Corner Unfiltered. Everybody, I'm glad to see people coming back on the channel, getting involved. I'm going to try to come out more frequently. Today, we're going to talk about mobsters, especially the main topic is Mikey, Washwoman, the Nose, Mancuso. He's the boss of the Bonnano crime family, and in my opinion, not too well liked. But you know what? In that life, people respect the titles um, as opposed to the person, because that life can be extremely dangerous at times, which we all know. And I'll go into that in a little bit. But and I'm going to talk also about Sally Daz, the debt Sally getting killed, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but I have to talk about it. It's been bothering me for quite some time, and I think Michael Nose could have had this whole situation derailed, where Sally could be alive today, and people I even spoke to agree, who are in the streets of the Bronx. So, but before we go into that, people, go to egvodka.com, order it today. Great holiday gift. Even when you're with the family, if you're having a party, dinner, Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve, crack open a bottle of EG vodka. And as long as you're not adding sweet additives, you don't have to worry about getting a hangover. It's 100% organic, 100% gluten free, certified. Um, Excellent vodka, best on the market. We deliver in 42 states. So go to egvodka.com, order it today. Great Christmas gift. Also go to Three Capos, not Three Capos, but Always Lit Cigars. Order your Three Capo cigars. We have a Christmas Santa Claus cigar. So try the cigars, you'll like them. And that's about it for that. So let's go into Mikey Nose. Um, in I'm gonna say my opinion, facts. Michael Nose was never in my dealings with him. I consider him as a punk. Now, I'll elaborate on that. When I say punk, I don't mean he will kill you. Don't get me wrong. He'll definitely kill you. But he's the type of guy, if he knows he's going to get his ass beat, he won't do anything. Um, if he knows he's outmanned, outgunned, he won't do anything. He won't go up. He needs the edge. He needs the advantage. He needs to have people behind him for him to act. Um, from what I've heard, he'd never pulled the trigger himself, only with his wife, the death of his wife. They shot her in the head. Um, I was told it was an accident. I believe it was an accident, drug induced. But so when I say the word punk, I'm not saying he's not capable of killing. It's just somebody who will not be challenged. Like if Vinny, for instance, is out somewhere, he's outmanned, outgunned, he's still going to voice his opinion. He might, if okay, outgunned, he might walk away that he doesn't have a weapon. But if he has a weapon, he's going to go. He's going to go. He'll strap his balls on and let's go. Let's do this. I was basically the same way. I didn't care. I had the altercation in the Albanian place where one of the top Albanians, Nicky, told me, he mentioned to me, Dom, the guy's going to come. Since I was in their club, he said, since you're by yourself, you want to go get some of your guys come back. I said, you my friend? You consider me a friend? He says, yeah, absolutely. I said, I'm okay. And that was it. I wound up going to work on that guy inside their club. And like I told the story, when we came out of the back room, Nicky was bleeding too. Because when I picked up the chair to hit the guy, Nicky was right behind me. I caught him in the eye. But and that's what I mean when I say punk. Michael Hippie's the same way. If he doesn't have 10 guys behind him, he won't go at it. These guys need the advantage. So I call them a punk. They're not really hardcore um, thugs or gangsters, as you would say. To me, a gangster is somebody who'll go no matter what. Don't get me wrong. If you have weapons drawn on you, you have no chance. Put your hands up, guys. Relax. Let's go. You try to walk away from it, but I'm coming right back afterwards. But unless Michael has the advantage, unless like guys like Hippie have the advantage, they won't go at it one on one with people if they know they're going to, if they know they're just outmanned. So that's what I mean, punk. As far as his actions, he's not boss mentality. He never was. Michael Mancuso went from a soldier in Patty DiFilippo's crew to an acting captain. Acting captain. So when Joe Messina went away, Patty went away. Anthony Urso had the crime family with Joe Camarano Sr. Vinny was part of that administration. Vinny was an official captain. And Michael Nose was Patty's acting captain. That's all he ever was an acting captain. And after Tony Urso got locked up with Camarano as well, Vinny took the reins of the crime family. Vinny is the one that anointed Michael Mancuso his acting underboss. Vinny did that. Vinny did it because he knew he could control Michael. Michael's a puppet, and it's more power for Vinny. Having somebody he knows he could control. He knows Michael's ways. He knew Michael was not a gangster's gangster. But that was Vinny's choice. So Vinny put him there. So Michael went from an acting captain to an acting underboss when that happened. And, from there, it's after Vinny got locked up, Michael took that top spot. But boss, he's not respected. He is not respected. He's very close with Johnny Joe, who is his underboss, and Johnny Joe is very well respected. So sometimes it's not the top guy in charge that people are going to respect. But I'm sure if Johnny Joe wasn't there in that second position, they would have definitely taken Michael out. Michael does not have the respect. And there's guys, and I'm not going to mention their names because I have a high level of respect and I was extremely close with them on the streets. But I know for a fact they don't respect Michael. They call him a jerk off. He's a jerk off and a blowjob. That's what they call him, blowjob. They laugh at him. There's a joke. So they're probably still laughing at them. And I'm not, and there's 3 or 4 guys I can name off the top of my head. Gangsters. I mean, stone cold gangsters, killers. So, and don't get me wrong. Again, Michael did put in work. Vinny, and this is well documented with the feds anyway. Vinny has over a dozen bodies. Everyone he pulled the trigger. Michael was there on 2 different occasions with Vinny. And there was a bunch of other guys there as well. I'm not going to mention their names. I can mention Patty DiFilippo. I can mention Manny. The rest of the guys I'm not going to mention. They're still around, still active. But they were there on those hits. And Michael was there as well. So, to me, when it came time for Michael to put some work in, that was with George Sasha, who was the captain in the Bonnano crime family, who wound up, Michael disappeared from that hit. It was supposed to be Patty DiFilippo, Johnny Joe, which Johnny Joe and Patty pled out. They took pleas for it. They already did their time. But Michael was supposed to be there. Michael was nowhere to be found. And they covered for Michael. So I don't know the particulars, but I know Vinny, his words were, Michael's an effing punk. He's supposed to be there. And Vinny had no knowledge of that hit. They didn't want, Vinny knew something was coming down, but they didn't want to tell Vinny because Vinny was very close with George and, they were worried. And I believe if Vinny would have known for a fact, he would have helped save George's life, tell him, listen, get out of here or do something. I would hope he would have, definitely. But, and I talk a lot about Mancuso. He's, while he was in prison, he wrote a letter to a girl talking about me, talking about my father. Like, why are you writing a woman saying stuff in a letter? Like, and you're a boss now? You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. Even Maddie Madonna, who I have a high regard. I have a high regard for him. He's did a lot of time in jail, a lot of years in jail, but he's more of a businessman than a gangster. Drug dealer came up. From what I was told, he never did a piece of work himself. Always ordered somebody, even when he's the one who had Sally Larker Sr. hit in the candy store. Paid a black guy to go do it. To me, that's no balls. Strap up, go do it. Go handle your business. But he's a man's man. Never ratted, doing life now. So I gotta give him that. But even Matty Madonna said that Michael Nose basically labeled him a rat because Michael also sent a letter out to somebody's wife talking about they're cheating on him. They're cheating on the wife. So, and you just don't do that. You don't do that. But it shows Michael's character. It shows what he's about. And Michael was always known as a washwoman. And the altercation I had with Michael, I told him. I told him at that time, Michael was the acting underboss. I was an official captain in the crime family. Michael and I were going back and forth with a few different things. And Michael was just being an ass. So, I didn't like the way he responded to me. And I told him, I said, Michael, what do you want to do here? What do you want to do? You have a problem? Let's settle it now. Let's settle it now. Because titles, all that, they mean nothing to me. You're not going to be disrespectful to me. You're not going to speak to me any old kind of way. I will not tolerate it. If you have a problem, let's deal with it now. Michael backed up. Backed up. Oh, I saw his expression, his whole body language changed. He didn't like it. But from that point on, I had eyes behind my head because I knew he would look to take me out. And that's why I sent word into Vinny. I got the green light to take him out. And Michael Nose would have been dead if the feds didn't arrest me in January. He was going for Valentine's. So he needs to thank the government for that one. So otherwise, he would have been pushing up daisies. That's just the way it is. But it is what it is. And then I feel bad. You have Sally Daz. Sally Daz was a guy, he had a vending machine company, made a ton of money. Real estate. His family, the kids were very tight. They lost their mother when they were young. And Sally was really a good guy. He was around Vinny, very close to Vinny. Vinny could get whatever he wanted from Sally. There was times, Sally, I need 50,000 here. Sally, I need 75,000 here. Sally loved Vinny like there was no tomorrow. It was ridiculous. And Vinny protected Sally every which way. There was one time the Albanians wanted to kidnap Sally, and they told Vinny, listen, we know he's around you. We're going to snatch him up. We're going to ask for $5 million, and we'll split it with you. Vinny's like, that's not happening. That's not happening. Don't even think about it. And if anything, a hair gets on Sally's head, I'm coming for you guys. I'm taking you all out. They knew Vinny wasn't playing, but they thought Vinny would be persuaded with the money because Vinny liked to gamble. He was flashy, his dress, very sharp guy. But Vinny wasn't having it. Vinny adored Sally, and it worked both ways. So Vinny was loyal in that sense. And it's just sad because Michael allowed this to happen. And it's said that, well, he's convicted. Sally's son's the one who was responsible behind the killing of the father. And that was Anthony. Anthony Daz was found guilty for killing the father. And Anthony was also really a great, sweet, just down-to-earth kid. They were around me. He was around me on the street. The kids were around me. And, I meet up with him. Sometimes he'd do something on the street. Hey, Dom, has an envelope. Like, really, really. And I'm like, Aunt, you don't have to. No, it's the right thing to do. It's the type of situation. I'm like, okay. But it's sad. It's a sad day. And Michael could have diffused that because I know Vinny or myself were out there. Once Sally got attacked the first time, we would have aggressively looked into it, found out about it, and that's it. Everything would have stopped. If we didn't find out, it would have still stopped. It would have definitely stopped. And the word on the street, the word in the Bronx was Michael let it happen. Michael let it happen. So, because Michael's not a gangster. Michael don't give a shit about anybody but himself. He's just a washwoman. He's more worried about the gossip that goes on in the street. And I knew this from my father. My father dated Michael's sister way back when he was even married to my mother. He was cheating on my mother with Michael's sister. And Michael didn't like it. And my father always told me, watch out for him. He's dangerous. He's jealous. And well, I knew what he's about. So people like that are more dangerous than true gangsters. You know, at least you take a guy like Vinny, you take a guy like Big Ernie, take a guy like Quiet Dom. You know they're dangerous. You know, and there's a higher level of respect, higher level. But you know, with Michael, he's just a piece of garbage. Like I say, he's a washwoman, and the only reason why he's still in that position and they didn't take him out is because Johnny Joe's there. Now, I've heard people say, well, they have two concierges, they have this. Folks, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. And these people, you know, guys you're talking about are legends. They're on parole. Why would you even say that? As number one, you guys were never even in the life. You're just mob groupie commentators who want to come out there. You think you know everything. You know the ins and outs, what's going on. Yet you're putting somebody on blast. You're putting somebody on blast who's on parole who could get violated. Come on. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. You're a joke. And I even heard one say, oh, well, Bonnie approved. Bonnie approves my balls with a different crime family. Who's Bonnie? Big deal. Bonnie. Bonnie approved. Bonnie's Genovese. Bonnie can't approve shit with Bonnano, Gambino, Lucchese, Colombo. Bonnie can't approve shit. So you just don't know what the hell you're talking about. You come on, you think you know it all. You don't. You don't. So get it straight. I know. I was in the life. I killed. I extorted. I did everything you could think of in the life. In the life. And it doesn't work that way. Sorry, pal. Doesn't work that way. Barney. Yeah, Barney's not even running. Barney's not even the top dog in that family. And I know for a fact. So, because I met the top dog when I was out there. And that was it. So, and I was with one of the top dogs in MDC, and I'll talk Quiet Dom. So I know everything that's going on. So Barney's going to come home from jail. He doesn't get shit. He's not getting that top slot. So sorry, they'll put him out there that he has it, but he's not the man. So that I know for a fact. So all these flunkies, these groupies that want to talk about the mafia, they think they know their inside connections, my inside source. Listen, not true. Not true. So to say, yeah, Barney approved, Barney this, Barney can't approve cock when it comes to a different crime family. And I'm telling you the way it is. This is Sicali's Corner Unfiltered. So good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it. So, and that's about it. RSVP, Sally Daz. Yes, it is a shame. He was really a great, great guy. I loved him. He would drive around in his little minivan, have 20, 40,000 in his pockets or in the van. Just a good guy. Good guy. I remember when Anthony Donato first got locked up. Right away, I saw Sally. He says, here, gave me 5,000 to send to the wife. I mean, just Sally was a great, great guy. His kids, when I got locked up, Anthony sent $50,000 over from legal fees for me. Give him my son's mother $5,000 a month. I got more from him than my own crime family. And that's another thing. What type of boss? Remember, folks, when I got locked up, they hit me with the SAMS Act. That's like you're on terrorist watch. No phones, zero phone, no visits, no communication with the population. They had me in segregation, locked up. I would get legal visits up in segregation. They wouldn't even bring me down to the regular legal room for 4 months. 4 months, no phone calls, nothing. And where was I going with this? Oh, when I came off of that, we have a co-defendant meeting. I'm with Vinny. I'm like, Vin, what the hell's going on out there? What are you talking about? My crew, it's dismantled. There's no more guys in my crew. Like, it's gone. He's like, well, I don't know what's going on. Vin, you know what's going on. That's my support level. Like, I'm not convicted. I'm not found guilty of anything. I have an acting captain, PJ. He's supposed to be running the crew for me. Nothing's supposed to skip a beat. But Michael had so much jealousy with me, he broke up my entire crew. That's not a boss, folks. That's not a boss. It's not boss quality. You don't send people to go to a wake. Joe Camerano's father-in-law. You're shelving Joe Camerano's. You say he's shelved. He can't go to his father-in-law's wake, who's a Bonnano soldier. You're going to ban him from his father-in-law's wake? It's his father-in-law, asshole. Can't do that. Can't do that. Then you send people there? Or even if you are banning him, handle it after the wake. Or handle it before. Make sure he doesn't make it there. You're going to create a scene inside a funeral home where there's kids, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, sisters. Wow. Wow. That just shows, again, Michael Nose does not have what it takes to be a boss. He is 1000% washwoman. So when anybody speaks about Michael Nose, Mikey, washwoman, the nose, Mancuso. That's his nickname. That's his full nickname, folks. I gave it to him. Dominic Sicali, Mafia Roundtable, Sicali's Corner, Unfiltered, gave him that nickname. So with that, I'll answer some questions. And then hopefully I'm still looking for a place to do the new format. We'll get that going. We'll be really good to go. We'll definitely be good to go. And I'm glad to see people are coming on. And, we'll just keep it going. But we'll be talking about politics. We'll be getting involved in mobs. We'll be talking about gangs. There's more hits. There's 2 murders that I was involved in. Still haven't spoken about them. So we'll go in depth with that. We'll talk about the book. I'm going to start reading excerpts out of my book that'll be released soon. We'll talk about that, and I'm dedicating it to Quiet Dom. Here's the, from what I see so far, this is the cover. This is the front. This is the back. So it's going to be, it still needs to be tweaked, professionally done. So that's about it. So we'll go into a couple more things. And then that's about it. We'll wrap it up today. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll be on next week. We'll be coming on, and I'll be doing my thing. But one thing you get with this channel, folks, somebody who's been, I'm not a groupie, I'm not a flunky, I'm not a guy who I claim to be a reporter, that I know everything about the mob, that I have inside sources. I was involved. I was in the trenches of it. I've seen it my whole life. From the prison system, from early age in the streets to the prison systems, coming out, being entrenched, being involved with, the higher ups, and just seeing the way things work, being around the Genovese crime family. That's where I was groomed. And then going over to the Bonnano, seeing how that structure works and everything. People say what they want. There was a lot of people that didn't like me, a lot of people that loved me. But one thing anybody cannot say, that I was soft, I was a punk. They knew I would go. I was always fair, I felt. But, I was somebody who made a ton of money. Good, ton of money. And it was, most of it was legit. I would have to say 90% was legit in my later years. Of course, if something comes across, I'm in the life that I can make money in the streets, I'll make money. But I pursued more or less legitimate businesses. I did very well for myself. So can't complain with that. But I'm going to come back. I'll be telling stories about Jimmy McManus, the relationship I had with him. He was around Dennis DeLucia, but did things with me. I'll tell stories about, I have a lot of stories with Dennis DeLucia as well. He's, basically non-existent nowadays, which is good. So I think he's in his 80s. So, but he was with the Colombos as well. Mickey Boy Paradiso was another one. I have some stories with Mickey that I didn't tell. So we have a lot of Funzi Alfoncisca. I have stories with him I didn't tell. So we have a lot going on. So we're just revamping the channel. I want to talk more with the news outlets, how fake news, it's disgusting. And this shit has to stop. Even with the Tyson fight, I'll reiterate. Again, you're hearing reports that, this fight was basically scripted. There definitely needs to be an investigation, folks, because a lot of people lost a lot of money. There was even talk, I heard somebody saying Jake Paul made a boatload of money on bets. On bets. So there definitely needs, that's where it's criminal. That's where it became criminal. They fixed the fight. That's what it becomes. That's what it should be called. Even though it's scripted, it's a fixed fight. You can't let people think this is an exhibition. Exhibition, anything could be happening. Exhibition means they're going to fight, but they're not going all out. They're not using professional rules. They're lax. They're using heavier gloves. Not doing 3-minute rounds. It's an exhibition, so it ensures the other opponent, neither one of them gets hurt. It's more, I would say, precautionary measures. That's an exhibition. And you don't know who's going to win. What's the outcome going to be? Somebody could get knocked out. A scripted fight, they knew the outcome. They knew what was going to happen, and they could capitalize. And there's word out there, they did capitalize on bets. On bets. That's where it becomes illegal. It's a sham. And Jake Paul's seen in the video talking about how corrupt the boxing business is. So, folks, they're definitely, don't be surprised. You heard it here first. There's an investigation on this, without a doubt. So I'll take some questions. I'm going to wrap it up because it's turning 4 o'clock and I have my little fluffs I have to feed. They eat at 4. I'm surprised they're not at the door scratching. But let's see. Who do we have? Sam the Man. Okay, Big Dom really is back in action. YouTube, great storyteller. Let's stock tips. Okay, stock tips. I like, folks, and this is my opinion with my stock tip for the week. My opinion. I like Meta, which is Facebook. My opinion, I'm not licensed. I'm not a broker. I'm not, this is my opinion. So actually, before I came on, I loaded up on Meta. I took some options out, which is you get a bang for your buck on it. But I definitely loaded up on Meta. It's been getting hammered lately. There's a lot of inside selling from what I see. Of course, they filed. That's their right. And I don't blame them. I would probably do the same thing too when you're sitting on thousands and thousands of shares just to get some cash out. But at the end of the day, I think next week is going to be a strong week for Meta. That's Facebook. And next week or two, I have Meta making a nice rebound bounce. I would say 20 to 30 points. And for those of you, that would be $20 or $30 in the next 2 weeks. That's my opinion. It's only an opinion. So please don't go out there. Don't pick it up because I said so. This is what I did myself. So I loaded up on Meta. For the next 2 weeks, I think we're going to get a 20, 30-point gain in it. And I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I lose. So nobody go out there. I'm not telling anybody to purchase any. But that's what I did. That's my pick for the week. And I'll be doing stock segments. So I have a lawyer coming on. She might be co-hosting on with me because she did a lot of research on some judges. I'm going to be talking about these judges, how they basically give lawyers preferential treatment. They don't rule favorably because they don't want to go against their colleague, the other attorneys. It's disgusting. And I have facts. I'm going to show people evidence where blatant disregard for the law because they favor the lawyers instead of doing what's right. So not only are you a victim in a case, now you get victimized by the judge because they don't want to insult their colleagues. It's all a circle. It's all their reputations. And they don't want to burn bridges because you never know who's going to be above you tomorrow in the legal system. So I'll be going into that. We'll touch a little bit about politics. Now, my politics, I'm down the middle. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm for what's good for this country. And that's it. But there's a lot of shit that goes on that I don't agree with. And I'll voice my opinion. That's what it is. And I respect everybody's opinion. I might get heated at times, but at the end of the day, I do respect everybody's opinion. And that's the way it should be. This world, this United States would be a much better place if people tried giving a little bit more respect to one another. And we'll be talking about kids, what's going on out there in the streets, gangs. We're going to hit all topics, folks, all topics. E.G. Vodka, thank you. Hello, world, we got. Fighting words, always fighting words. Fordham Road in the house. We got Fordham Road in the house. There you go. Back, if for those of you who don't know, off of Fordham Road, you have the Bronx Zoo, you have Arthur Avenue down that way. It's off of Pelham Parkway. I was actually born in Pelham Parkway in the Bronx. When I was a baby, that's where I was born. So obviously I was a baby when I was born. I didn't come out. Well, yeah, I came out like this. I was special needs. Let's see, what else we have? Write your real name in the chat. Okay, you're arguing with somebody. Listen, let them, whatever they're saying, don't even get to them. You know, of course, people aren't going to write their real name. They want to be warrior, keyboard, tough guys. So that's okay. In jail, we used to call them cell gangsters. So, and sometimes I'll talk to my friends now from New York. You know, listen, I was good to people. So what can I tell you? I'll talk to them. I'll go, rah, rah, rah. All of a sudden I hear laughter on the other end. Oh, you're a phone tough guy now. I said, yeah, I'm a phone tough guy. And we have a good laugh over that. But I have a lot of stories, folks. We're going to talk about the strip clubs, the scenes in there. Oh, my Lord, I could tell you. Even when I saw Puffy in there, you know, and that's another thing that's sad with all the celebrities, all the athletes with him. It's sad. It's a disgrace. So how's Michael Smiles? How's Michael Smiles still there? I have no idea what you mean by that. We have Davenport, Iowa in the house. Hey, John, good to see you. Thank you. Barney the Dinosaur. Listen, I heard Barney's, and we're talking about Barney from the Genovese crime family. I heard very college educated, very sharp guy, very well liked back in the day. But people change. So, you know, you have the right guy's ear. That's it. You can excel. I had Vinny's ear. Vinny loved me. So, you know, people say that's why I moved up so quick. Okay, cool. But you know what? Tony Green, Joe Camarano Sr., the ones that moved me up, they helped move me up too. So, and I wasn't that close with them. I was close with them, but not like with Vinny. They just saw traits, characteristics, quality. You know, and I did what I did, and there's no excuse for it. But here we are now. Love the way you talk. Your stories are great. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're it. Yeah, it's a brotherhood. Yeah, it's a brotherhood. It's a backstabbing brotherhood, the Mafia. It's a backstabbing brotherhood. It's not what people portray. It's not what the movies portray. It's grimy. It's dirty. And you have guys like Michael Mancuso. They're out for themselves, not for the crime family, for themselves. We have a contribution. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Why did Sal go to Canada? Any stories about him? Yes, I have stories about Sal, the iron worker. Sal went to Canada. The U.S. deported him when he became the acting boss after Michael Mancuso. They tried keeping it all in the same group because they know if it went outside. And now Sal, I think, was from Queens, but he was based out of the Bronx. He was in Patty DeFilippo's crew. So they tried keeping it where they could control it, where Vinny has control over it, Michael Nose has control over it. And that's what they did. After that, I have no idea how, who, where it went. But Sal was also a good guy. He was called a Zip. He had the greaseball ways. I had a little rumbling with him, but all good. I liked him. Thought he was a really nice guy. So, Dom, were you aware that the city of Palm Springs here in California was known as Little Italy at one time due to the retired mobsters from the Midwest purchasing property there? No, Jay, I had no idea. I did not know that. Thank you for that tidbit. Ali, we have Ali from Scotland. Good to see you, my Scottish friend. Good to see you. Dom, ever hear of Autopilot app? Tracks politicians, investments, Nancy Pelosi, etc. No, but I will definitely check it out. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Well, people, we're going to cut this short. Well, it's not short. It's 35 minutes we're on. Hope everybody has a great, great weekend. Much love and respect to everybody. I don't think I'll be doing anything this weekend. If I might come on, do some shows. If something pops up in the media that I want to talk about, I'll bring that on. But everybody have a great day. Wish everybody the best. Remember, drink responsibly, especially if you go order EG vodka. And see everybody next week. Peace out.